Hello and welcome back to another tutorial on advanced charts. This is Trisha Jatyani and today I am going to take you to the donut chart. A donut chart is a variation of a pie chart, but it can also work as a progress chart. Now the difference between the donut chart and the pie chart is that there is in the donut chart there is a small hole added to the circle, and hence it looks like a donut, and so it is called as a donut chart. Now, why and how you can add the progress here is because while the donut chart gives the same information or a similar information like the pie chart, where it divides the whole data into parts, the donut chart also allows you to track the progress of a particular project or the sales target or the product manufacturing or any other progress that you're trying to track or display in the dashboard. Let's see how does that work. In my database here that I have the sales target given for quarter 3. The sales representative have been given some target. I have the sales data for sales representative for 4 employees, and those representatives have a target of 84,000, 99,000, 92,000, and 96,000. I also have their completed target out of the target amount that was given to them. Now I need to create a donut chart which will show how much is still left, or I can also show what is the amount that has been completed. Now, in order to do that, I need to first identify the percentage of the completion and the left. So what I'll do is I will first select the sales rep names from here, put it into another table, create another table which will have the completed percentage and the left percentage. So what I need to do is I will easily just do a simple calculation where I'll say the completed divided by the target for each one of them and change it into a percentage format. So this gives me the completed or the progress of the completed target from the target. And now I need to know what is left. So what I'll do is the target minus the completed. This will be something in the amount that it will be giving me result. Now this has to be divided by the target. Again, this will give me in the numbers. I need to change it into percentage. So now I got this percentage. Now what I need to do is I will create a donut chart selecting the first representative. I will have to create donut chart for each one of them. So go on to the pie chart and the last option is a donut chart. Once you create that, you can see simply that it has created your data for the representative one. First I'll do is I will change the title. I will say sales or the target or the progress report for rep 1 or rep 1 sales target. So anything that any information that best suits your chart you should give there. Now either you can add a data label here simply and just say that this is a percentage that is given, which is not looking very nice. Another way to do that is add a progress report which tells you that say 89% is completed. So what I'll do is in order to do that, I'll go on to insert, I click on the text box, click on the text box and add the text box inside the space which is there in the middle. Once I've done that, I'll immediately go on to the formula bar, say equal to, and select the completed percentage portion. Once I've done that, it will allow me to add that percentage in the middle. So like I mentioned earlier, it has a hole in the middle, and hence your donut chart is more space efficient because you can add this data in the middle as compared to the pie chart where you only have the option to add the data onto the chart. Now I will increase the size of the text box so that it looks a little bigger and it gives me the feel of the progress chart. So here it shows 89% completed. Also, what I'll do is, instead of keeping the one which is blue is the completed part. So instead of keeping the other one orange, I will go ahead and change the color to, let's say, light gray, so that it is visible, but it is going to show me the data in gray is not yet been completed. So that needs to be focused on. Now that I have this data, I can also this shows me the exact data that has been completed, or you can also add, if you want, inside 89% that you can see, you can also say that you want to add, let's say, completed percentage. So I will say, or you can just add it here. Instead of saying sales target, you can just say completed percentage. This can also be done. So anything that suits your data or the way you want to show it, it can be shown on this database. But if you plan to add that here, you will have to add another text box to ensure that you can add anything inside that text box that you wish to. Okay. So this is how you can add your percentage here. Now, if you wish to change the format of the data, how it looks here. So for example, the colors we have already shown you how you can go ahead and change from here. Let's say I want to have a curved edges at the end. What I can do is I can go on to select the data or any one series, go on to the fill options from here, go on to the solid line under the border, and under the border you will select the same color of the border of the color which you have right now for your data. So I have selected the same color. I will increase the width or the line from this so that it looks little bigger. The bigger it gets, the edges gets a little more sharper and more curved. So I'm taking 13, 14, 15, whatever you feel suits your data. So now it looks 13 here. As of now, it gives you a feel of a different chart altogether. It doesn't look like a donut chart anymore. But yes, you can give this curved edges. But as of now, you can see that the curved edges are only shown for one part of the data. The second part is not yet been showing as the curved edges. So this can also give a feel of what is the completed part. And this is the edge. It looks like a lock with this small edge at the end. Now, if you don't want to do that, instead you want this also to be shown in the edges, you can do that also by going on to the format and first removing the border color that you have here. So in order to do that, I will first select my another data, go on to the chart design. From there, sorry, the format, and from there, I will remove the shape outline. So I'll say no outline. Once I click on no outline, you will see that the white line that you could see in the middle is gone now. There is no outline anymore. You can select your other data which you had already and do the same steps which you did for the first one. Go on to the solid line, select the color which is exactly the same as your data or your color that shows on that part of the data. Change the width to make it exactly of the same size of the previous data. Now it comes to 14 points. If you see now, keep it outside and it looks very, very neat and clean. It shows you the progress report for the representative one, how much has it been completed as compared to what was the target that was given to them. So now it becomes very simple to add it to your dashboard and show exactly where does your data sit. Now this comes to how you can add one uh, donut chart to your list. So this was a very, very simple chart to add if you have a donut chart available in your Excel version, which was only available from 2000 and high versions. Another type of information that you can show on this data, on this donut chart, is the hierarchy information. We have already seen in our previous tutorial where we can create a tree burst or the sunburst or a tree map chart. However, you can also show your hierarchy in your double donut chart. Now, how is that double donut chart created? There is a little trick. There is no inbuilt double donut chart. But how do you create that? Is by just going on to the insert and then click on the donut chart. Once you have created the donut chart, it will create it from that database which you had just kept your cursor on. You will select your donut chart, which you already have, and then copy by doing Control C and then do Control V. It will automatically add one more circle to it. Now I will go on to the format data series and then reduce the whole size to, let's say, 40, 42, whatever, 45, somewhere about 40, around 40, 45. This will let me have a bigger size on the donuts or on the data where I can enter. Now that I have this information, I can just go on and say add data labels. However, when I add the data labels, it automatically adds the numbers. Instead, what I can do is I can go on to say more options, and here I can ask the data labels or ask the Excel to only add according to the hierarchy. So let's say the outer part which I have, let me make it a little bigger and remove the legends down there so that the chart is even more bigger. The bigger the chart, you'll be able to read it properly. So yes, I can also reduce the data, the whole even further down so that looks a little more nice. Okay. Now that I have this, I can go on to the data labels option, and under the option, instead of adding the values, I can say values from the cell. This will let me select the cell from where I want the data labels to be added. I can select the region, which is east, east, west, west, whatever the region is, and then click on OK. And here it lets me add the region on the outer portion of the data. Now, what I can do is inside that I can see here that an amount, I can leave that amount as it is and still add my value from the cell, which is the customer. So what I can do is inside, I can also add the customer name and the value if I wish to. And this is how I can get the hierarchy chart. I can do it other way around also, where I can add the names of the customer on the outer circle, and inside I can add the region. So depending on what I'm looking for, I can do it on the chart. So this was again the hierarchy chart that we have created. While it's not the ultimate chart, if you do not have the sunburst or the tree map chart, you can actually use the donut chart to create the hierarchy charts as well. So this was a simpler way to actually have a workaround to your data. Hope you enjoyed this video and you will utilize this to create your own dashboard. Thank you for watching and keep watching for more of such informative tutorials. Thank you. Bye-bye.